Hi there, welcome to the Belfry. We've got a really interesting custom fitting test for you today. Now this is something a little bit different from your, how's your old driver perform against a new driver. We've come down to see TaylorMade. We want to test out some of their new M3 and M4 drivers, but in particular we want to test out the custom fitting process with both those products. So me and Christian, we're both, I'd say, self-confessed tinkers.
Tinkerman.
We're definitely tinkermen. We like to, self-diagnose when things aren't going right on the course. We're constantly changing our equipment. Christian's actually the only person I know who's been out on the course and changed his driver shaft mid-round. So that's where we're starting from here. We always think we know best, so we're going to go into the TaylorMade Performance Centre here at the Belfry and pick out an M3 or an M4 driver which we think is going to work best for us. We're going to pick a shaft which we think is going to work. We're going to pick the loft. We're going to see how that performs, and then we're going to get expert fitter Neil Wayne to take us through the full custom fitting process with the driver and see how, see if he can get better performance out of the custom fit driver to what we've picked, and kind of see if we're quite close to what we think is going to work and what actually works, or if we're completely miles away. So should we go and get stuck in?
Let's do this.
So we picked a TaylorMade M3, like I say, 9.5 degree, 70 gram stiff shaft. It was launching too low and he was losing a lot of it to the right just because it was too strong really. So there wasn't enough loft, the shaft was too strong and too heavy. We went for a little bit more loft, which I knew was going to help straight away because his launch angles were so low. Went for a lighter weight stiff shaft, which was a little bit more easier for him to handle in terms of weight. And then what I did that was the key thing is I actually loaded the heel, got him in the D-type driver because his miss is to the right, so that was just helping to square the face, and also his miss it on the face is actually in the heel. So what people don't realise is that actually when you put more weight into the heel of a driver, it does actually strengthen the miss it. So it gave him, number one, obviously better launch angles and better dispersions, but we kept the ball speed up with the miss it, hence where the averages were a lot longer. So he got an average carry of 215 with the spec that he chose for himself. Once I got him in the right spec, he was getting, the carry was way up there, 235 average, I think it was off the top of my head. But yeah, he definitely got some out there, 250 with a couple. Probably 95% of the time people are using the wrong spec in terms of driver, because what you think is going to work and what does work can be so far apart. And as you can see, when you do get it right, the results can be very, very good. So with James's fitting, first he came in with a 9.5 degree M4 with the hazardous red shaft. Now the shaft was where it all went wrong really, because he was right with the loft, because he naturally launches it quite high, but putting him in that hazardous shaft, it was only adding to the spin, which was then bringing the carry distance down. What I did with him was got him in the same head, but basically a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger shaft, so it brought the launch angle down, which kept the spin down, hence why he gained 20 yards in carry.
Okay, so we've come over to the 10th tee here at the Belfry, obviously, and we've got our spec sheets here from our driver fittings there with Neil. So yeah, really interesting day. Let's first off talk about Christian. He went in there, you went straight for the M3, didn't you? You went for quite a heavy, stiff, big boy shaft and were soon put in your place, weren't you?
Yeah, basically, it's just basically ruined my last 18 years of golf thinking I couldn't fit myself coming out of there. So yeah, went in for the 70 gram shaft stiff. It was actually what I was playing about three years ago, and anything that gives me a bit of adjustability, which the M3 has, I thought I can go at that and try and give me something that's going to knock out essentially a fade to a draw, and I thought I could do that. Proves that I'm wrong.
Well, I think to start off with, he went away from the M3 heading into the M4, didn't he? Just because I think Neil was saying he felt just a little bit more forgiveness with the M4. You can sort of strike it all over the face a little bit, and that was working better for you, wasn't it? The M4 than the M3.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you could sense there's forgiveness is in that head straight away. Compared to the M3, there was a bit more weight in the heel, which is what I needed as well.
Yeah.
And you could see that from how I was standing, how I was swinging it at the time. So you could see the difference straight away.
Yeah,
definitely.
And with the lighter shafts, M4 head, draw bias as well, a little bit of weight in the heel, again a little bit more forgiveness in the heel, and just to sort of help you square that face up a little bit. Your averages were up 20 yards, weren't
Oh,
they?
definitely. You could see that even with the loft, I think you put it up by 2 degrees, so it was at 10, I think it was at 10.5, and I'd gone in there with a 9.5, so I was already up to 12.5 degrees off the driver, which was a massive difference. I just thought lower is better for me, considering the ball flight I did have. But you could just see the difference. It was, 20, 25 yards at some point. I got one out there that carried up to about 245, 250, which is a long ball for me. I'm not known for being a big hitter.
So, I mean, Christian went in, and what he ended up with was massively different to what he thought was going to work for him. Whereas for me, like I say, in my job, equipment editor, I've been fit loads of times, I'm testing a lot of equipment, and I think I've got a pretty good idea what works for me. So I went in there, Project X shaft that I've used before in the M2 with the M4 head, 9.5 degrees, and so I just sort of went like for like on what's worked for me before with M2, and I was hitting it really nicely with the spec that I liked and that I was familiar with, and so Neil had his work cut out a little bit with me trying to improve on that, so I was hitting it quite nicely, but spin was just still getting up a little bit on me in the shaft that I'd chosen. So he actually went for the Project X black shaft, which just took even more of that spin off. Again, he put a little bit of extra loft on for me, just to allow me to launch it high, low spin, and I was hitting some really nice bombs. Biggest one out of the hit, 272 carry, 290 total. I'm going to check that the TrackMan was set up and we're not at altitude, but yeah, they are absolutely huge numbers for me. So again, I was seeing sort of 15 to 20 yards improvement when I got into the custom fitted spec. So I think there's enough evidence there that the custom fitting process is worth it. Don't self-diagnose, don't feel like you can fit yourself, or even if you're someone who's got a bit of experience doing it, just still go and get fit, because just a slight tweak like I had there, just a slightly heavier shaft, a little bit less spin on the shaft, it made a huge difference to my overall performance. So yeah, I'm really happy with that.
No, yeah, definitely me too. It's definitely changed my game.
Yeah, so give this video a comment if you've got any questions about what the process we went through, or if you want to know any more about getting fit here at the Belfry, any more about the M3, M4 specs, what's available, post those comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, we'll see you soon.